brought up is 6'7", but he wound up 0 for 10 from on 2-point shots because he just couldn't find a way to the basket.
Right.
And there was the one block that he just ate it. I think we have the Vic Law block right here where we've been showing it a little bit, but Vic Law tries this, and that was a bad idea because you just ate that one.
Yes.
Okay.
He was losing the ball. I don't even know if he was going to get that over the rim, but it was a great block by Chet.
It was just a bad idea, and yet do you see any strength on 195 pounds there? I see a little bit. Like Kevin Durant is skinny as you get,
right.
but he's skinny strong.
Right.
You know, like he's got grown man strength
right.
to him.
Okay? But that's Skip. But that's come over the years with age.
It has.
I mean, what's Chet? 19, 20?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, is a different player at that age than he is currently.
Okay. Last night he blocked 6, and then it was funny to me because it felt like he'd blocked 10. And
he altered a bunch.
He altered a bunch of shots. He's going to lead this league in blocks, I believe. If he can do nothing else, if the other stuff doesn't work,
right.
I still think he can alter and block and lead the league in blocks.
And they pay for that. Ask Rudy Gobert.
Okay, ask Rudy Gobert. So afterwards, when Holly Rose talking to him, she brings up the fact, you set the Summer League record with 6 blocks. And if we could see his answer, I liked his answer.
A new Summer League record for blocks. We talked about your competitive spirit. Only 6. That's a record.
Oh, well, I'm coming to break it again, so.
He was like, that's all it was? Because he didn't think he had that great a game blocking shots.
Right.
Well, they play again tonight against Memphis.
Right.
They're not Memphis College, the
right.
Memphis Pros.
Right.
And I think he's thinking, well, I could get 7 tonight. Right. I could get 8 tonight.
But Skip, the bigs, they go up strong in this league.
Yep.
And
do that.
I mean, at 195. So if I'm him, I'm not trying to block Joel Embiid dunk. I'm not trying to block Giannis's and those guys that's going up with 2 hands, and they're going to put you in the rim.
Okay. So the game has changed. We now have stretch centers, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stretch
so
5.
Let's look at the shooting motion. In the first half, he makes 4 threes, just bang, bang, bang. And then at the end of it, he makes a Dirk Memorial step back one-legged, off 1 foot jumper that put the exclamation point on it. Could we see those, please? Here's Josh Giddey sets him up. That's a pretty deep 3. This is a legit NBA 3.
Yeah, he's a foot behind the top of the key. The top of the 3.
I like the motion. I like the confidence. He's ripping them now. They're not like greasing in. He's ripping them. And the more he shot it, the more confident he got. And then right there, he goes Dirk. And then you could barely hear it on the audio on the live telecast. He goes over and says, he's just too little. Because he is. He's just too little. Okay? He can't guard me. That's what he was saying.
Right.
Okay? He's got some trash talkiness to him that I kept bringing up during the year that I did not see against Memphis or Arkansas in the NCAAs when he shrank.
Right.
But last night, it started to come out a little bit. You've got to have a little bit of that edge or they will eat you alive.
Oh, they're going to go at him anyway, Skip, for the simple fact he's the number 2 pick in the draft. And you know how that is, having been around football locker rooms a lot more than basketball locker rooms. They got to see now, you're the number 2 pick in the draft? Now, I need to see why. I need to see what's all this hype about. Because like when I played, Skip, if you came to my team, you won the Buckets, or you won this award, we got to see why.
Absolutely.
When you play in the NBA, them guys are going to want to see why you were the number 2 pick in the draft. Now, I need to see, because, I'm going to try to make my, did you see what such and such did to Chet Holmgren, the number 2 pick in the draft? So I'm going to get my rep up on you. Yep. Because I know you're trying to get your rep up on me.
Okay. So his first half of Summer League action, he scores 19 points. He blocked 3 shots, and he was 6 of 7 on his shooting and made 4 or 5 threes. Well, that's a welcome to the NBA.
Yes.
Okay, now the good news and the bad news is you have sent shockwaves. We're talking about it here, and there's no, if he'd had some ho-hum game, we're not even acknowledging that he played last night, right? Unless we thought it was awful.
Right.
But the point is, around the league, all the way up to the top, to the king, to LeBron, I'm sure they're stroking their chin saying, can't wait. Okay, now we see what he can do. He says, I'm here. Welcome me to, he welcomed himself to the NBA, even though it's just Summer League. and the hype monster is already
It's out of
roaring.
control, man.
Yeah, it's going crazy. And I liked what the Oklahoma City mayor tweeted last night because it was funny. He tweeted like 5 straight lines of, it's just Summer League, it's just Summer League, it's just Summer League, it's just Summer League.
Yeah.
And then the last line was, with an asterisk, clearing schedule for June of 23. Okay, like, guess what's going to happen?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, all right, okay.
Summer League to the finals.
Right, okay. But again, that's kind of that captured the mood of the night was, wait a second. So it makes me wonder now, remember, Jabari Smith, everybody, you loved him.
I love him.
I liked him. I still think slightly that I would favor him over this kid just because he's such a pure shooter. He is Durant-esque.
Yeah.
Okay?
6'10" that can handle it.
But I told you, what shocked me was that I thought Orlando would take him 1, and they took Banchero.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Sam Presti and the Oklahoma City Thunder are on the clock. And I thought, are they going to rethink their position here? Because did they really think that Jabari was going to fall right out of heaven into their laps?
Right.
He did not rethink his position. The card was up to the commissioner in about 5 seconds.
Right.
They knew exactly what they were going to do. That they did not second-guess Jabari Smith falling right through their lap to the Houston Rockets. And so here we go. So this kid is going to have to live up to, oh, I'm better than Jabari Smith, because that's what you're set up for. And we'll start to see, I think Jabari plays, I think it's tomorrow night with Houston, and we'll start to rank, and you'll start to say, well, what does it look like?
Well, you're going to get compared, Skip, because that's where you are, the second and third, just like Bowie and Jordan.
Yep.
Like, how could you take Sam Bowie over Michael Jordan? Elijah we saw Elijah I mean, we'd never seen anything like Elijah a
There
guy
was
that can
never
move.
any argument about that.
Exactly.
In the biggest picture, you could argue it, but really not.
Right.
Nobody said anything.
So you could make a case because he's arguably, he and Bill Russell, the greatest defensive centers, and he had offensive skills that Russell just didn't have. But they're going to be the comparison between Holmgren and Jabari Smith.
Right.
Because, man, they better, Skip, he better be the real deal. Because if Smith is what I think he can be.
Well, it would make Sam Presti look foolish.
Yes.
Okay? If he continues on the arc that he started on last night, guess who else it might make look foolish is Mark Few at Gonzaga, because what's the old line? And I'm not comparing Chet Holmgren to Michael Jordan, but what's the oldest line about Michael Jordan? There's only one man who could stop him, and that was Dean Smith, your coach of the team that you grew up loving, the North Carolina Tar Heels.
You had to play in the system. The system is the system.
You had to play in the system because I never saw the Jordan I came to know in Chicago. I didn't see it at Carolina. And remember, he stayed for
3 years.
3 years. 3 years?
Yes. And he had great players. Skip, he had Sam Perkins, he had Kenny Smith. He had, as a matter of fact, I think he had 1 year with Brad Daugherty. So it wasn't like...
Well, he had Worthy.
He had James Worthy.
He's a freshman.
Yeah,
right?
So it wasn't like James Worthy was the #1 overall pick in '82.
Yep.
Brad Daugherty was the #1 overall pick. And so it was, and Sam Perkins was a top pick. Kenny Smith was a top pick.
Well, Sam Perkins went to my Dallas Mavericks. I was in Dallas then. 1 pick after Jordan went to the Bulls.
Oh, and he had Jimmy Black. Jimmy Black was
not bad.
Yeah.
No.
So you're right. Nobody saw this, Skip. If somebody would have told me Michael Jordan was going to score the amount of points that he scored, just watching him in college, now he was sensational. He played above the rim in college. But Skip, I didn't see this. This dude came out averaging 28 and then 30, then 30. Come on.
Come on. But my point is, on a much lower level, if this kid continues on this arc, you might look back at Mark Few and say, well, what were you doing?
Well, I guess you say that about Calipari and Cat, because I didn't see this with Cat. I didn't see this with Anthony Davis.
No. Maybe it's just college basketball.
Maybe it is. Boogie?
Nope. Agreed.
Guys, I wish we had Bruce Pearl on the show right now. He had some harsh criticism of Chet ahead of the draft, and I wonder what he thinks after that performance last night. All right, we might be just a few hours away from some big James Harden news, everybody. Perhaps an extension in Philly. According to Adrian Wojnarowski, Harden and the Sixers could have a new deal sorted out as soon as today. That new deal reportedly 3 years and under the max. Shannon, if that plays out, would you be surprised?
No, because I didn't think Philly was going to be willing to go to that Nikola Jokic